When a man has once loved a woman, he will do anything for her except continue to love her. How can a woman be expected to be happy with a man who insists on treating her as if she were a perfectly normal human being? One should never trust a woman who speaks of her real age. A woman who would tell one that would tell one everything. Subscribe to this channel to listen greatest quotes by greatest people, daily. Men always want to be a woman's first love, women like to be a man's last romance. Women are made to be loved, not understood. A man can be happy with any woman, as long as he does not love her. A gentleman is one who never hurts anyone's feelings unintentionally. When the gods wish to punish us, they answer our prayers. Woman begins by resisting a man's advances and ends by blocking his retreat. There are only two tragedies in life: one is not getting what one wants, and the other is getting it. Children begin by loving their parents. After a time they judge them. Rarely, if ever, do they forgive them. Between men and women there is no friendship possible. There is passion, enmity, worship, love, but no friendship. To lose one parent may be regarded as a misfortune. To lose both looks like carelessness. If you are not too long, I will wait here for you all my life. Ridicule is the tribute paid to the genius by the mediocrities. Memory is the diary that we all carry about with us. Ambition is the last refuge of the failure. Sometimes the poor are praised for being thrifty. But to recommend thrift to the poor is both grotesque and insulting. It is like advising a man who is starving to eat less. What is a cynic? A man who knows the price of everything and the value of nothing. One should always be in love. That is the reason one should never marry. I always pass on good advice. It is the only thing to do with it. It is never of any use to oneself. Life is never fair, and perhaps it is a good thing for most of us that it is not. Life is far too important a thing ever to talk seriously about. Some cause happiness wherever they go, others whenever they go. There is only one thing in life worse than being talked about, and that is not being talked about. The only difference between the saint and the sinner is that every saint has a past, and every sinner has a future. Consistency is the last refuge of the unimaginative. Experience is one thing you can't get for nothing. Education is an admirable thing, but it is well to remember from time to time that nothing that is worth knowing can be taught. Work is the curse of the drinking classes. Morality is simply the attitude we adopt towards people whom we personally dislike. A man's face is his autobiography. A woman's face is her work of fiction. Life imitates art far more than art imitates life. I am so clever that sometimes I don't understand a single word of what I am saying. Bigamy is having one wife too many. Monogamy is the same. One of the many lessons that one learns in prison is that things are what they are and will be what they will be. Man is least himself when he talks in his own person. Give him a mask, and he will tell you the truth. To love oneself is the beginning of a lifelong romance. All women become like their mothers. That is their tragedy. No man does. That's his. True friends stab you in the front. Patriotism is the virtue of the vicious. Success is a science. If you have the conditions, you get the result. It is absurd to divide people into good and bad. People are either charming or tedious. Most people are other people. Their thoughts are someone else's opinions, their lives a mimicry, their passions a quotation. No man is rich enough to buy back his past. By giving us the opinions of the uneducated, journalism keeps us in touch with the ignorance of the community. It is better to be beautiful than to be good. But it is better to be good than to be ugly. Questions are never indiscreet, answers sometimes are. A man who does not think for himself does not think at all. Men marry because they are tired, women because they are curious, both are disappointed. Selfishness is not living as one wishes to live, it is asking others to live as one wishes to live. The truth is rarely pure and never simple. The true mystery of the world is the visible, not the invisible. It is what you read and you don't have to that determines what you will be when you can't help it. A little sincerity is a dangerous thing, and a great deal of it is absolutely fatal. The critic has to educate the public, the artist has to educate the critic. Laughter is not at all a bad beginning for a friendship, and it is far the best ending for one. Ordinary riches can be stolen, real riches cannot. In your soul are infinitely precious things that cannot be taken from you. It is better to have a permanent income than to be fascinating. The old believe everything, the middle-aged suspect everything, the young know everything. Everybody who is incapable of learning has taken to teaching. One's real life is so often the life that one does not lead. The only thing to do with good advice is to pass it on. It is never of any use to oneself. Thanks for listening. Explore our other videos like this, subscribe and enrich your knowledge.